Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Eric Arnold again here in the Frigid Sports Barn. This is the second video we're making here on early in the morning on the 23rd of January. We just made one where we covered our old business from 21st of January. Now we got so many picks, we're going to get right into them so this video doesn't drag on for half an hour, which nobody has the tolerance to watch. And forgive me, but I just don't feel like writing up 17 different goddamn games. And that's what we got for you. 17 games. It's Mid-Major Thursday. So 17 games. We're going to push our luck. We're going to put it out there. 17 games. We feel pretty good about these games. So let's get to it. All right. Number one, out of the Colonial, we've got Delaware. Delaware 13-7. Pomeroy ranking 197. They're getting 7 at Hofstra. Hofstra 14-6. 148. Again, two similar teams. Delaware's we think improving. This looks like a good spot for them. They're getting 7 points. We like Delaware. Now all these games to the exception of 1 or 2 stars. I just threw away the 1-star games. We got so many of these 2-star games. We don't need the 1-star games. So 2 stars on all these. I'll probably just repeat that again and again. But number 1, that was Delaware. Number 2, Drexel. Out of the Colonial. 2 out of the Colonial here to start. Drexel, 12-8. Pomeroy says they're 201. They're getting 8 points at Northeastern. Northeastern's 10-9, and they're 147. Well, Bill Parcells' theory. I mean, according to this, Drexel's got a better record than Northeastern, and I'm getting points. You know, the game's on the road, but there's going to be tens of people at the Northeastern arena. The Drexel coach, I think, is a guy, Spitker, something like that. Zach Spiker, something like that. He was on the no-bet list for me for a while because I just wasn't impressed with him and his team. But they've done a few things lately, and I'm giving them a shot here. So, kid, do your job, cover the 8, make me proud. Number 3. I'm trying to keep these conferences together, lumping them all together. Yeah, here we go. All right, number 3, another Colonial game. Last Colonial game. Townsend. They're 10-9, 181. They're 5.5 point favorites on the road at Elon, and Elon is 5-15. Pomeroy 309. Well, we like Townsend. And I don't even know why. Probably for the same reason we always pick them. There are going to be tens of people in that arena. We think Townsend's significantly better than Elon. We think we're getting value because Elon's probably getting a point or 2 for a home court advantage that doesn't exist. We like Townsend. Number next. See, I don't know what I expect you guys to be doing here. I'm just reading these picks off basically for posterity's sake. So, you know, there's a record when I put up my record, which is right now standing at 34-25, which is pretty good, I think. So, when I come out here and do my next video, say, okay, these 17 picks did this, you know, I got proof that I actually picked these games. I don't really know if anybody's writing them down. I guess probably subscriber B is. He's probably busily scribbling all these down. This guy's got like a high-level executive job in a multi-billion-dollar corporation, but you know, he's probably scribbling all these. We got Townsend, okay. So, to each his own, however you want to do it. If you're actually betting these games, good luck. You know, you get what you pay for, so be careful. Let's go to the Horizon. The Horizon, number 4, the Horizon. We got Green Bay. They're 9-11, 228, Pomeroy says. And they're 2.5 point favorites at Cleveland State. And Cleveland State 7-13, Pomeroy ranking 318. Take Green Bay. Take Green Bay. That number seems close enough to us that we can bet that. 2 stars on that one. That was what, 4? I shouldn't have been jumping around here because now we're going to get all out of place. 5 is UIPUI, and that is some combination of Indiana, Purdue, and University, and I don't know exactly what it stands for, but they're out of the horizon too. 5 and 15, 324. That's pretty bad. So this is a pretty bad team we got here. They're getting 7 points at Detroit. Detroit's 4 and 16, 281 Pomeroy. Detroit's coached by Mike Davis. Do you remember him? He was the guy who had the earth drop on him when he was asked to step in after Indiana threw out Bobby Knight, and they just basically went, you over there, you shall be coached. And you know, he was asked to step into an impossible situation, and he did the best he could. But we don't know that he's that great of a coach, or he'd still be at Indiana. So we like IUPUI. They're getting the 7. We'll take that. Take it all day. So that was 5. Number 6, out of the horizon again. All these teams, the conferences, I guess, pick days, and they play on those days for the most part. Illinois, Chicago, 8 and 12, 253, getting 4 points on the road at Oakland. Oakland actually is not in California. Oakland is in Michigan, and they are 7 and 13, Pomeroy 208. Illinois, Chicago. We'll take it. We'll take that. So that's number 6. So that was 3 Colonial, 3 Horizon. Let's go to the Big South. The Big South. The Big South is, I don't even know mid-major is the right term for this. This is more like mid-minor. USC Upstate. USC Upstate. Out of Spartansburg, South Carolina. 7 and 12. 330 Pomeroy. They're going up against the power of the Big South, Winthrop. And they're getting 15.5 points. Winthrop's got a winning record, 12 and 7. Pomeroy ranking 126, so huge discrepancy here. But we're getting paid for it. 15.5 points. We kind of looked at this and think maybe this is a spot where Winthrop might just take it easy. Just take it easy. 15.5 points. Take a break. And perhaps Upstate sneaks in there and loses by 10, which would be perfectly acceptable for us. So that was number 7. UC Upstate. Here's one now, another one out of the Big South. Gardner-Webb, 6 and 11, 247, is a 6.5 point favorite at High Point. High Point, 5 and 14, 344, one of the worst teams in the country. To refresh your memory, High Point is coached by Tubby Smith. We are not Tubby Smith fans. We think it's the end of the road for him. Punching the clock, filling out a time card, waiting to be ushered into retirement by High Point. So Gardner-Webb has an upcoming coach, we think. Coaching advantage. We like Gardner-Webb laying the points. Definitely there. That was number 8. Okay. Start marking this down or we're going to totally get lost. Especially since I'm not writing it down. I'll have to oh man, this is probably stupid not to write this shit down. I might have to recut this whole video if I fuck it up. So let's hope we don't. Let's see, we did that one, we did that one. We did that one, we did that one. Alright, here we go. Here's an actual game. What are we on to? Number 9? Number 9. This is out of the Ohio Valley. This is actually on ESPN2. This is the 2 powers in the Ohio Valley. Belmont from Nashville. They're 14 and 5. Pomeroy ranking 91. They're a pick'em at Murray State. Murray State's the other power out of the Ohio Valley. Murray State is 13-5, Pomeroy 140. A little bit about this game. Belmont has historically been the power in the Ohio Valley, say for the last 10 years or so. The last couple of years, Murray State stumbled on some guy named John Morant. I don't know if you pay attention to the NBA, but this guy looking like he's going to be the Rookie of the Year in the NBA. Fantastic player. The last 2 years, Murray State has beaten Belmont for the Ohio Valley Championship, this is a vengeance game. This is a game that Belmont's got circled on their calendar since last March. This is you don't have John Moran anymore, and we are going to come up to Murray State and get you. That's this game. So we like Belmont. We like them to get their vengeance and at the pick'em, so they'll win the game outright because it's a pick'em. So that's 9. All right, let's do these. Conference USA. Let's do the Conference USA games. Florida International, 13-6, 156. Getting 4 points from Old Dominion. They're 7-12, 176. Bill Parcells would be all over this game, and so are we. Florida International, 13-6. Old Dominion, 7-12. Old Dominion, 4-point favorite. What? Why? Why? I guess they just played an incredibly tough schedule, but you've won 7 games. The other team's won 13. Why are they not? So we're not buying it. We're taking Florida International. We're getting those 4 points. We like this one. This is our top-rated play. This is a 3-star game. Old Dominion, I believe, was coached by a guy, Jeff Jones. He coached without distinction at Virginia for so many years. Now he's coaching without distinction at Old Dominion. We're fading him. We like Florida International. So there you have that. That was number 10. Number 11, another Conference USA game, UTEP, 11-8, 143. 3-point favorites against Rice, at Rice, 9-11, 226. I looked up the Rice coach. One thing interesting about him, he's from around here, he's from Hershey. He actually made a stop as an assistant at Elizabethtown College. Once knew a guy named Mel Dietrich that streaked through a dance at Elizabethtown College, which I think was like the talk of the town for 10 years there because nothing goes on at Elizabethtown. None of that's going to help these guys against UTEP. UTEP is going to cover that, lay the 3, take UTEP, number next. I think we're on 12, I think we're on number 12 here. Southern Miss, an up-and-coming coach, we believe, with Southern Miss, even though the record's poor. 5-14, 277 Pomeroy, getting 9 points at UAB. UAB is 12-7, Pomeroy ranking 172. We're just taking a shot here, I think, with the coach, that we think this guy's better than the UAB coach. 9 points, we'll take a shot here. 2 stars on that. So that's a Southern Miss. All right. Lastly, or second to lastly, we're going to go into the Northeast. Well, third to lastly. All right. I'm not sure where we are. The Northeast, Sacred Heart, who was in a fight a week ago with St. Francis of Pennsylvania, strangely enough, in the handshake line. And I don't think it was quite as exciting as the Kansas fight. I think it was just pushing and shoving. Even though the Kansas fight was basically that too. But at any rate, Sacred Heart, 10-9. They are 206. They're 10-point favorites at Central Connecticut State. 1-19, 352 ranking for them. The only team worse than them, I believe, in Pomeroy's ranking is Chicago State. I thought about this game and I thought, did I not just play Central Connecticut and win against Sacred Heart like on last week's videos? Well, we're going to do the opposite, and we're taking Sacred Heart here. This is a game where I'm going to turn around now. I played Danielle Marshall with Central Connecticut. We won. Well, sorry, dude. We're taking Sacred Heart this time, and we're going to win again. 2 stars on that one. All right, the aforementioned St. Francis of Pennsylvania. That's the class of the Northeast. Northeast Conference, not the whole goddamn region where you got schools like Villanova and whatnot. The Northeast Conference. St. Francis of Pennsylvania, 12-6, 194 Pomeroy. They're getting a point at Long Island University. Long Island's 9-10, 245. You're getting the champion. You're getting a point. These guys just made a trip east last week to Fairleigh Dickinson and got a huge game in New Jersey. Now they're making another trip east to play Long Island. I like the feel. I like the idea that they've been there, they've done that, they're feeling good about themselves. They had that disruptive fight a week and a half ago, and then they turned around and dropped a game they really should have won to another team called Merrimack. So they're bouncing off of that game. I like St. Francis here. I like them to get it done. 2 stars on that. And lastly, in the Northeast, we got Robert Morris. They're 9-10, 2-14. They're 2.5-point favorites across town at St. Francis in New York. Also, so we got 2 games going on like that close to each other in the Brooklyn, Queens area. Robert Morris, 2.5 points over St. Francis of New York. They're 8-10, 313. We like Robert Morris. We like the road teams. Like the road teams. I don't know if you're paying attention, but we picked all road teams. These are all road teams. So you have that. All right, lastly, we got 2 more games for you here. The Summit. We're going to go with Denver, 5-15, 317 Pomeroy ranking. They're getting 9.5 points at North Dakota. North Dakota, who lost for us a few days ago. They're 8-12, 223 Pomeroy ranking. Don't earn my anger here in North Dakota. Don't lose when I'm on you and then win when I'm against you. Don't do that. Hate those kind of teams. Hate them. But we got Denver getting the 9.5. And lastly, on the West Coast Conference, BYU, and a team you may have actually heard of. They're 14-6. Pomeroy ranking at 29. These guys are actually good. 14-6. They're 7-point favorites against Pacific, who is 15-6. Pomeroy ranking 141. Bill Parcells would be having a fit with this one. What are you doing? Taking the team laying 7 on the road, and the records are identical. All right, you can't just play a theorem blindly. That's a recipe for disaster. You have to kind of pick and choose. It's a sound principle, I believe, but here's some teams the Pacific has not played that BYU has played. San Diego State, top 10. Gonzaga, top 10. And Kansas, top, number 1 team in the country. So those are some teams BYU's played and lost to. And Pacific, I think, they haven't played anybody. So we think BYU probably is a team that, has a certain level, is able to handle these middle-of-the-road type teams like Pacific, and probably just can't handle the elite teams like Gonzaga, who they just got hammered by. So let's recap. Let's go through them as they're written here and make sure you got them all. We have Delaware, on the road. All these are on the road, so I'm not gonna, and all except Florida International are 2 stars. So Delaware 2 stars, Green Bay 2 stars, IUPUI 2 stars, USC Upstate 2 stars, Drexel 2 stars, Illinois Chicago 2 stars, Belmont 2 stars, Gardner-Webb 2 stars, Florida International 3 stars, that's our top play, Sacred Heart 2 stars, St. Francis of Pennsylvania 2 stars, Robert Morris 2 stars, Towson 2 stars, UTEP 2 stars, Denver 2 stars, Southern Miss 2 stars, and lastly, Brigham Young University for 2 stars. Salute. Good help you if you sat through all that. But we feel pretty good. I'm wanting to see what happens. We've got a 9-point unit advantage right now. And if we can maybe go, say, 10-7, hell, I'd be satisfied. Look, I'd be satisfied. I wouldn't kill myself if it was 8-9. I'd be disappointed, but I wouldn't go crazy. I just don't want to bring in a 1-16 night. Odds are very much against that. But let's keep it positive. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling. We're on a roll here. So from me to you, good morning.